PepperPointe was really founded out of necessity. Consolidation is inevitable in dentistry. We're going to see the exact same thing that we saw in medicine and pharmacy. So I put those two things together, the fact that consolidation is going to occur and the heart and compassion of my colleagues. And I thought, maybe there's another way. Let's look at what we have done and a way of preserving it through a different lens. Through a lens of us not seeing one another as competitors, but seeing each other as partners. And the end goal was always the same. How can we protect our patients long term?
To somebody who sells part of their practice to a DSO or venture capital DSO, you have no autonomy anymore. You have no control. This allows you to maintain your own practice the way it's been forever.
One day I came home from work and my wife Sonia had opened up an orthodontic products magazine that had an article written by the PepperPointe team explaining the story of what they had done in Kentucky. And so I was very excited to speak with Greg and hear more about the story of what they did in Kentucky. And my simple question is, could we do this in Virginia? And he said, you absolutely can if you have a passion for the things that are important here for us in Kentucky.
Our main thing was that we didn't want to feel like we were employees. We wanted to be true partners. Once the framework was laid out and we really saw that this is a true partnership, it was a win-win for us. We couldn't turn back.
Once that connection is made and they understand the basic structure of it, then we get into the details through this partnership journey of answering the questions that they need to have answered. What does this look like for my staff? What does this look like day to day? What does this mean about what I can use and what I can't use? All of those questions are answered through this journey.
There is a sense of peace and security that just is innately there when you begin your conversations. It's, in a word, comfortable. And when you're immediately comfortable, you can start the process of moving forward to things that maybe would be less comfortable, like, do I need a new computer system? Do I have to change some processes? You can evaluate each thing that your practice needs to move towards in order to be a cohesive whole.
We ran it by all of our accountants, our financial advisors, attorneys, and the general consensus that everyone said was, you'd be crazy not to do this. Like it seems too good to be true.
One of the beauties of the PepperPointe model was when I heard that not a single staff member in the Kentucky area was lost due to the consolidation, because the staff members are your lifeblood. They're the reasons that the patients feel comfortable in the practice. They're your family, and this has to be right for them. It can't just be right for the doctor.
In the first 3.5 years with PepperPointe has been wonderful. You know, everything that I had hoped that the team would support my practice and provide, they have done. But I feel like the voice, the autonomy to be able to practice the same way I had before is certainly there.
Ensuring that the patients get the care that they need without me having to think about going back into the office, doing some of the administrative things has definitely made a true impact on patient care in our office and the overall health outcomes of the patients that we see.
I have been in orthodontic practice since 1995. For the last 28 years, I have been working in the practice that is now Orthodontic Arts. We've practiced in the golden age of orthodontics, but I'm really worried about the next generation and who we hand the ball to. My daughter is thinking about going into dentistry, and I've put a lot of thought in what the future of dentistry, the future of orthodontics looks like.
I can't imagine coming out of a residency program and not knowing which way is up without some sort of entity like this to move into. We can help these young orthodontists who come out of their residency program with close to $1 million in debt, nowhere to turn.
Young orthodontists coming in, giving them an opportunity to have ownership is really, really important, because they'll care more, they'll nurture it. I mean, that's the whole crux of it, because if you have a doctor-owned practice, if you own anything, you're going to care more about it, You're going to nurture it. You want it to succeed.
PepperPointe doesn't own any of these practices. We don't own any of the non-clinical assets or the clinical assets of those practices. We don't own one handpiece. We don't own one dental chair. We don't own one bracket or one band or one stainless steel crown. That all is owned by those doctors, just like it always has been.
I feel like this is the only model that makes sense in every stage of your career. Join forces with other like-minded individuals and all help to raise it up and go in the direction that you want to go.
The peace that comes with knowing that you have help, knowing that you have resources, knowing that you are equipped to handle the future, you can't overstate the feeling that gives you as a practitioner.
The PepperPointe model is not meant for 3 to 5 years. It's meant for 3 to 5 generations. It is about preserving legacy. It is about protecting patients. It is about serving the next generation of doctors so that they can serve the next generation of patients. It is about commitment to community, commitment long-term to something that has meant so much to so many. PepperPointe is really nothing more than a reconstitution of the old transition model, but that works in today's marketplace. It's not the doctor down the road that is the competition. It's the changing marketplace. It's the way people make decisions. And it is the outside influences that have come in that have never ever treated a patient that are really directing how consolidation is taking place. So at its core, PepperPointe is about transitioning from ownership from one generation to the next, and keeping that ownership in the practice and building on what has already been built and resisting the urge to do what others have done in medicine and in pharmacy, to do it differently and to do it better.